Have you ever been scrolling through photos and one just stops you in your tracks? You think, wow, that's amazing. Ever wondered what makes that photo so different from a regular old snap? Well, you're in the right place. We're about to open up the Creative Toolbox and show you exactly how it's done.
So, what is it? What's that secret ingredient? Here's the good news. It's not about having the most expensive camera or just getting lucky. Nope. It's about understanding a few key ideas, a kind of creative language. And once you learn it, you'll be able to create that magic yourself. Let's dive in.
First things first, we've got to learn to speak the language of photography. It's almost like a secret code that artists and photographers use to build their images. And trust me, once you know these key terms, you're going to start seeing the world in a totally different way.
Let's kick things off with a big one, composition. Just think of it like this. You're setting a really nice dinner table. You don't just toss the plates and silverware on there, right? Of course not. You arrange everything so it looks balanced and inviting. Photography is the exact same. You're the director, deciding exactly where your subject, the background, and all the other little details should go to make the most powerful image.
Okay, next up, monochrome. And no, this isn't just black and white. It can be an entire image made up of different shades of blue or sepia or any single color. So, why would you do that? Well, when you strip away all the other colors, you force the viewer to focus on what's really important: the shapes, the light, the textures, the emotion of the scene. It's a seriously powerful way to set a mood.
Now let's talk saturation. I love this one. It's basically the volume knob for your colors. You can crank it way up to get these super vibrant, punchy colors that just jump off the screen. Or you can dial it way down for a more muted, subtle look that might feel a bit more softer or even nostalgic. The point is, you get to control the emotional vibe of your colors.
All right, so we're starting to learn the language. Now, let's get familiar with the tool that actually speaks it, the camera. You know, just understanding the basics is what takes you from just pointing and shooting to really taking creative control of your photos.
I know, all those buttons and dials can look a little intimidating at first, but they're actually pretty simple. You've got your shutter button to take the shot, the lens, which is like the camera's eye, a flash when you need a little extra light, and some dials to fine-tune your settings. Learning what these do is like learning a few chords on a guitar. Suddenly, you can start making your own music.
And just look at the huge difference one little setting can make. A normal lens shows you the world pretty much how your own eyes see it, but you switch over to a macro lens and whoa, you've just entered a whole new universe. All of a sudden you can see these incredible, intricate details, the tiny hairs on a bee's leg or the perfect little drops of water on a leaf. It lets you show people a world they almost never get to see. So we have the language, and we have the tools. Now for the really fun part. Let's see how the absolute masters of the craft put all this stuff into practice. These ideas aren't just for textbooks. They're the real deal building blocks for some of the most famous art out there.
You've got artists like Hannah Hotch, for instance. She wasn't content with just one photo. She created what's called a photo montage. She literally cut up different photos and collaged them together to make a brand new, powerful statement. Or look at Chuck Close. He would use photographs as the starting point for his paintings, creating portraits so incredibly detailed they look even more real than a photo. It just proves that a photograph can be the start of endless creativity.
You know, pressing the shutter button isn't the end of the journey. Not anymore. In our digital world, the creative fun continues with editing. This is your chance to polish your image, to really zero in on the story you want to tell, and add your own artistic flair.
We already talked about saturation, and yep, you can totally boost or mute those colors after you've taken the shot. But you can do other wild stuff too, like color replacement. Imagine changing a red rose to a blue one. Or you can add special effects and filters that give your photo a cool vintage vibe or a slick, futuristic glow. Think of editing as your personal digital darkroom. Okay, we've covered the language, the tools, and even got some inspiration from the greats. Now, it's your turn to get out there. Let's wrap this all up with a super practical checklist you can use on your very next shot to make it instantly better.
This is your secret weapon. Number 1, hold that camera steady. Shaky hands mean a blurry photo. 2, make sure your subject is sharp and actually in the picture. 3, and this one is a total game changer. Move your feet. Don't just zoom in. Physically walking closer or farther away makes a huge difference. 4, change your perspective. Get down low to the ground or find something to stand on to shoot from up high. 5, glance at your background. Is there anything distracting back there? And finally, number 6, play with that composition we talked about. Seriously, try not putting your subject right in the dead center. It's almost always more interesting.
When you boil it all down,
it comes back to this one simple, really beautiful idea. Every single technique, every tool, every tip we've talked about, it's all just a way of capturing light to make an image. You're basically painting with light. How cool is that?
So there you have it. You have the language, you know the tools, you've got a checklist for making great shots. The only thing left is for you to go out there and start creating. The world is full of amazing stories. So what story will your next photo tell? Go find out.